The Grenke Chess Classic, February 2nd through February 9th, 2015. World-class tournament. World champion Magnus Carlsen is there. Also, Vishy Anand, former world champion, is there. Many other great players. Aronian, great world-class player. Mickey Adams from England. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American. Nadich, top German player. Don't miss any of the action. And here are the standings after 5 rounds in the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. Nadich from Germany and Magnus Carlsen from Norway tied at 3.5. Magnus has won 2 in a row. Fabiano Caruana, Italian-American, with 3. Mickey Adams from England, Bacro from France, and Aronian from Armenia with 2.5. Vishy Anand has 1.5. And Baramits has 1. And there are the standings after 5 rounds in the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. Hi folks, John Cordisco here. Another game from round 5 of the Grenke Chess Classic 2015 with 2 players that need no introduction at all in the chess world. As white, Aronian from Armenia, world-class player. And Vishy Anand from India is black, former world champion. Lost to Magnus and then lost again when he challenged Magnus last year. I gotta say, both of these guys the last year and a half, they've been better. They've had some tough times. And they're both not struggling, but when the bar is lifted so high for players like this, when you fall short, it makes you look bad, and they're great players still. Anyway, let's get to it. Aronian is white, Anand is black. It's going to be a Queen's Gambit declined. Pawn, bishop, pawn takes, queen checks, knight comes up to block the knight as well as protect the bishop. Bishop g5, h6. Now the computer always gives bishop takes, and I don't know why, but that's the block. Queen takes, e3, reinforce the d-pawn, plus there's an escape for the light-squared bishop. Castles, bishop to e2, a6, and castles. Okay, pretty standard stuff. Basically an even game. Bishop comes up. Rook f to c1. Now, this is a game where, I guess if I had a title to this game, I would put, I was doing so well, what the hell happened? And this is what happens here. I'm not going to say. You'll see as the game goes on who stands better. And then all of a sudden, the rug gets pulled out from under him. And you're going to see this. Bishop d6. Moves the bishop back. a3. Knight comes over. Interesting move. Now the computer liked rook f to d8, rook f to b8, rook f to wherever. But Vishy decided to go knight to e7. Obviously something, he's probably got a crap load of preparation left over from his world championship challenge against Magnus. Who knows? b4, c6. Pretty good there. I like this. These bishops are in good spots. Really good spots. And these pawns here are in very good shape. Vishy's looking good. And the computer shows maybe a third of a pawn advantage for black. Queen to b3. Now that pawn is stuck there. And that bishop on e6 can't hit it with a pawn move. g5. Here comes Vishy. Now it's funny. He sees all these young guys. And now I'm trying to say Vishy's old, but by chess standards he's a little bit older. We see all these young guys like Magnus and Richard Rapport and Joe Baba even. They just start pushing pawns in front of their king. And these guys are fearless. So Vishy's going for it. Good for him. Queen to b2. Interesting move there. Queen comes back. Interesting. Computer like g4. Or knight to g6. Knight to g6 I happen to like. Gets that knight ready to come in when it has to. But queen to g7. Who am I to question the former world champion? Knight a4. Rook over. Slightly advantage now for white. But I think Vichy's playing very well. That bishop pair is going to be hard to beat. Knight to c5. Bishop to c8. Okay, it's a game. They're maneuvering around. Pawn goes up. Secures the f4 square more than anything else. Knight to f5. Brings the knight right up. They're going back and forth. Bishop d3. Queen f6. Tiny advantage for white. We'll call it even. Queen to e2, the computer likes. Knight to d2. Rook back to f1. Okay. As you can see, this doesn't work here, because when pawn takes the rook, h5, here come the pawns. Lots of choices here, like I usually say. What to do, what to do. Black has, black's got an initiative going on the king side. Rook a to c1 for white. If you had gone rook a to e1, knight to h6 is a good continuation with knight to e5, bishop takes, pawn takes, queen takes. Black's up a pawn, but the computer only shows a half-point advantage for it. I'm surprised. After rook a to c1, h4. Okay, what to do? This is a very clever move. I can't go into the details on it. I wish I could show you the video that Nigel Short and Jan Gustafsson were the commentators. Maybe when I make a deal, hopefully with Macaulay Peterson and Chess24, he'll allow me to show some excerpts from some of their sponsored chess online. Right now I can't, but I'm trying to work it out with him. He's a busy guy, so he'll get back to me. Queen to d2 is an excellent move. If you want to go back right here and stop the video and see why that is, it starts getting incredibly complicated. Now this is where I think Vichy goes not terribly wrong, but a little wrong. H takes, and then g4. I like that. He went knight to h6. And it went from about a half-point advantage for black to over a point advantage for white. Now, it didn't get a question mark, so it's not a blunder by any means. It's just, I just don't think that he properly saw through it. There's a lot of things to miss in here. To give you an idea, if he had taken f takes, knight takes, I think it's a pretty good continuation for Vichy. But after knight to h6, e4 might get an opportunity to move that pawn up now. Bishop takes c5. Not as good would have been queen takes. Then after queen takes check, king h7, e5 discovered check. You see the discovery here. Bishop takes check, queen takes, knight takes, e takes, knight takes, knight d7. Now material's dead even right now, but I say but, no matter what happens, rook moves, this knight's going to go here and fork. So he's going to win the exchange. That's not what happened. e5. Bishop takes b4 is interesting. g7, give you an idea. Bishop takes b4, a takes. Then queen to g7. But decided to go queen to g7 for Vichy, and then pawn takes, not d takes. Then bishop g4, knight takes, rook takes. And it's back being even. There goes pretty much the attack for black. After bishop takes, or excuse me, b takes, f6, e takes, rook takes, knight takes, bishop f5, rook c to e1, moves the rook back, Rook takes, knight f3. It's about a pawn and a quarter advantage for white. He's a pawn up too. But this is where it starts to go wrong. Bishop takes, queen takes, rook e4. Good spot for that rook. Rook e1. H takes. And Vichy just resigns. Give you an idea. After rook takes, knight takes, there's nothing really much he can do. Those two passed pawns on the king side, then rather than put himself through that torture, he just resigned. That's a tough break for Vichy. That's 2 games in a row. He's lost now. He lost yesterday to Carlson. He lost today to Aronian. These things happen. In fact, I wish I could show you the post-mortem with Aronian, but until I get the okay from Chess24, I can't. But he says, hey, today was my lucky day. I got lucky. So he admitted it, and both of these guys have had better times. But they'll bounce back. They're world-class players, the both of them. You got to be kidding, right? Aronian was forever the heir apparent to challenge Carlson. So that's the way it goes sometimes. Sometimes you're the statue, and sometimes you're the pigeon. And that ends one game from round 5 in the Grenke Chess Classic 2015. I hope you enjoyed it. I want you all to remember, if you think chess is just a game, you're not playing it right. Take care, folks. Bye-bye.